Overwatch is dead. It took 8 years, but it happened. It was a downhill battle right from the launch. Battleborn in 2016, remember that one? Paladins just 4 months after the release. Lawbreakers 2 years later. Then came Amazon's Crucible in 2020 with a bold value proposal. Since everyone hated playing tanks and healers in these games, they thought, why not just remove them? Unfortunately, the player interest in tanks and healers around this time was topping the charts. After the competition laid off a little, the hero shooter market got quiet and Overwatch could take it easy for a bit. But Blizzard did not like that. They like competition in their space. It pushes them to innovate and improve on things. So in 2022, they decided to innovate on Overwatch by increasing its version to 2, reducing the number of players on a team from 6 to 5, removing maps, removing on-fire mechanic, and removing one feature from the game that made you feel like you progressed even though you've been stuck in plat for the past 3 years. The release of the sequel was not really received as Blizzard hoped, but nevertheless, they were the kings in the hero shooter genre. But things were about to change. In August 2024, Overwatch got a new challenger, Concord.
I'll be waiting outside.
In December 2024, Overwatch got a new challenger, the one that actually might be the last nail in the coffin in its 8-year-long saga, Marvel Rivals. This is the portion of the video where I list my gaming credentials that are supposed to convince you I know what I'm talking about. I played Marvel Rivals, reinstalled the game 3 times already, made it to plat, which is better than 90% of players, and went through both Overwatch and Marvel Rivals subreddits. I'm also a veteran Overwatch player who made it to Diamond once for a short period of time, but I can't show it to you because Blizzard removed any record of my previous achievements. And I got the answer about the future of the game, but you have to wait until the end of the video until I dump a bunch of info you can Google yourself and spew a bunch of thoughts that no one cares about, with the sole purpose of making this video as long as possible. So let's start with Marvel Rivals. The year is 1982. Nah, I'm just kidding. The game sort of came out of nowhere for me. Remember how Apex Legends dropped their trailer and just said, here's the game, play it now? Well, this is kind of similar in my case. I know Marvel Rivals had built up trailers of their heroes, they had a closed beta, but I didn't really pay attention to it. I was not planning on playing another hero shooter. Even when the game came out, I wasn't really interested. I was too busy dodge rolling white mobs in this new ARPG. But after putting pause on PoE 2, I wanted to check out what's all the buzz about. And 30 hours after, it's still the same piece of shit. In all seriousness, the game feels pretty good. It's fresh, it's new, and in some weird way, it hits the nostalgia button of first time playing Overwatch. You're learning new heroes, everyone is new to the game, there are no set rules, the game is not sold yet, things are hectic. The game does not feel like a cheap copy of something that already exists, even though it might look like it when you first see some of these heroes, or if the former president of Blizzard says so. They actually offer some new things, like ultimate charge transferring to the next round, which offers some pretty cool dynamic in the first fight of the next round. Destruction opening up new pathways and angles you gotta care about, hero bans, hero combos, which on one side is pretty cool as it gives new skills and passive to heroes, but on the other creates another point of tension between so agreeable multiplayer gamers. Also, I gotta say, healing in this game feels so satisfying. Listen to this. You know how games released in established genre and need like a year or two to catch up to their competition in terms of feature parity? Well, Marvel Rivals is already feature complete if you compare it to other games. Decent hero pool, voice chat, maps, ranked, practice range, MTX. The game looks graphically distinct. It has infinite pool of maps, skins, and character material from comic books and movies. It somehow managed to carve out its portion of the cake in this boring and heavily consolidated market, where players just don't want to move around in. Most things are heavily consolidated and saturated. Yet, Delta Force is able to garner attention in FPS market against all these shooter games. This whole tweet is just ChatGPT corporate jargon for responsibility shift. It's not us, we did well. It's just that the climate wasn't good enough for our vision. Anyhow, next to all the shiny stuff, there are already scratches that can be seen. The game is walking pretty much the same road Overwatch walked. People wanting roll queue because no one wants to tank. People raging at each other because no one wants to tank. The game's chat being heavily moderated because no one knows about the tank. Disconnects, elo hell, yeah, it's already there. Another thing that worries me is that they're already paying attention to esports, and we all know how that turned out for Overwatch. The state of Overwatch in 2024 is kinda questionable. It turned into a game where main features are bringing back old features. Remember 6v6? It's back as an experiment for now. You liked on-fire mechanic? Here you go. You liked seeing portrait frames? We got something better. Competitive drives, signature battle tags. Also, here's Overwatch Classic for a bit. Putting Overwatch against what Marvel Rivals is bringing to the table might be one of the best things to happen to it. Because competition is good. You know how Diablo 4 innovated in ARPG genre? Wait, I'm using the wrong game. You know how Last Epoch introduced some new things like in-game trade or dodge mechanic, and PoE responded pretty much right away by introducing their versions of these features? Same thing here. Marvel Rivals will hopefully, unless Blizzard just is done with it, force Overwatch team to rethink some of their decisions. Maybe you get to keep your ult charge after a hero swap. Maybe you get to ban Zarya. Maybe you get to drill a glory hole for your Widow shots. To sum this one up, I don't think Overwatch will suffer in player numbers because of Marvel Rivals. If anything, it might just boost its numbers further. This is all with the assumption that Blizzard doesn't make the stupidest decisions moving forward. The game is just massive and well established. There might be a swing in the player numbers as people swap between the two games, but the addicts will never truly abandon the game. We will always install the game just one more time.